Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. Today is Friday, and that means it's my weekly meal video upload, and we are on week 7 of a low-spend pantry purge. I am trying to stay around $25 cash weekly for groceries, and that is encouraging me to explore my cupboards and my freezers and eat some of the food that we already own. I'm focused on eating down some of the older items. Now, there was a huge storm here in Nova Scotia this week. I show a little clip. During the storm, the aftermath of some of the snowbanks, and I'm sharing this because this was an anomaly. During the storm, our internet went out, not our power. So we kept power, but there was a huge area local to us that lost internet. So on one day, when I had no internet, I made an unexpected trip to a location where I could work from because I need the internet. And so you'll see a couple pictures of some snacks. I always keep snacks in my work bag, and that's what I had for lunch that day. We had some really fabulous meals. I encourage you to check it out. Watch to the end. I am going to make a dip, an epicure dip. It's going to be a chipotle bacon ranch. And yes, these are not the new style epicure because epicure went bankrupt and then they came back. But these are the types of bottles that they had before the bankruptcy. So these are older products. The base of most epicure dips is a brick of cream cheese and a cup of mayo. Add into that a cup or half a cup to a cup. I'm always very heavy-handed on the cheese, of grated cheese. And that's pretty much the basis of, I'd say probably 75% of their dips. So I am going to mix this together and then I'll add, I might divide it. I don't know if we need like a full batch of the dip. I might divide this base in half and just make half of it into the bacon chipotle ranch. This is half the base, a tablespoon of ranch, a tablespoon of cheese chives bacon, and half a tablespoon of the chipotle. I should probably check the recipe because I'm pretty sure that's not the exact quantity of the ingredients. Add some bacon bits. Let's get this all stirred up and in the oven. This is looking great. Now let's get it in the oven. I almost forgot to take the video. Oops, my little cracker. Let's taste it. Oh my gosh. Delicious. Yummy. Simple lunch today. I'm going to make some Campbell's vegetable soup, and I am going to toast some of the sourdough bread that the neighbor gifted us to go with it. 1 can of soup, 1 can of water. Let's stir and heat. Is this only supposed to be 1 can of water? Empty soup and 1 full can of water. Yep. Vegetable soup and toast. Yummy sourdough toast. We are going to make nachos tonight. We're going to cook some ground beef, add some taco seasoning. We have mushrooms and jalapenos. We have green peppers. It's going to be great. And this is homemade salsa that our friend gave us. She made. So we're going to try her salsa. The handsome one cooked the ground beef. The handsome one also cut up all of these vegetables. So we've got mushrooms, green peppers, red onions, and jalapeno slices. This looks great. And now for the cheese. And in it goes. And here we have nachos just like that. Making a smoothie today. Haven't had one in a while. We were getting really extremely low on milk, and we needed that for coffee. Like if anything else, we needed it for coffee, but we got brand new milk. So we have some liquid that's not just water. I'm going to use yogurt. I've got in there one of the bananas that I got in the flash food box 2 weeks ago. Flash food bag. I've got some frozen melon here that I had just threw in the freezer. I actually didn't do the greatest of jobs of preserving it, and it froze together in one big clump. Well, I'm going to throw in some peanut butter because I have it. I'm going to throw in some protein powder. I have 2 kinds. I have caramel and I have vanilla, and I know vanilla would go with this type of a smoothie better, but I'm using the caramel because I am trying to get down to just one kind of protein powder in the cupboard. So caramel and peanut butter will go together okay. They'd go together fine with the bananas. It's adding in the melon, but this is what I have. Yeah, it's going to be great. Adding in a few greens, spinach for my health. That didn't go on great. Yeah, I need 2 hands. Smoothies, they look really good. I like that little hint of green, and sometimes you can't tell that that's in there when you are adding like strawberries or raspberries or blackberries or blueberries. I've already drank mine. I just rinsed out my glass. It was actually a really, really enjoyable flavor combination. I quite enjoyed this smoothie a lot. A couple weeks ago, I cooked pumpkin, and I used the pumpkin in a recipe that I was making, but there was lots more, and I put it in these PC dupe. Oh my goodness, what are these called? Super cubes. And I'm just popping them out. I'm going to put them in a freezer bag right now. These are in 1/2 cup portions, and these are just 2 freezer bags that I reused. I wash them out and reuse them if I have like veggies or stuff like that in it, fruit. And this was the skins after I'd baked the pumpkin, and I blended it up. There was still actual pumpkin on the skins, but the skin is actually edible, and I put this in an ice cube trays. I'm going to cut this now, and I'll have these little cubes for in other things. So I have pure pumpkin in the 1.5 cup forms, and then I have this as pumpkin and skin in these little cubes. This looks good. And we're just in the process of making some dog food, and so we decided we're going to put 4 of the cubes in the dog food. I had been thinking tuna casserole might be a way to use up some canned stuff, the mushroom soup, can of tuna, and this penne, but I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to cook up 2 of these chicken burgers. I'm just going to bake them in the oven, cut them into pieces, and then I'm going to use them with this creamy pesto parmesan chicken meal solution. We've got the spinach that goes with this. I think this is going to be a really good way to use up some of these burgers. I know the handsome one doesn't want to have them as burgers. So I'm not hiding them in a casserole, but repurposing them in a different way, I think will make it more palatable to him. So yeah, excited. These have been baking at 400 for 15 minutes. They're nowhere near done. I just flipped them, and I'm putting them back in for another 15 minutes. The penne is drained. It's just cooling here in the sink, in the strainer. 1.5 cups of milk with the package mix. We'll get this all stirred up, and I might actually add a little water as well to make this go a little further. These look much, much better. I'm just cutting them in strips, and then I'm going to cut them again so they'll be in little pieces. Like this. And let's get this. Ooh. Okay, this is going to make a mess of splashing. And let's get this. Stir. This is starting to thicken. I'm going to add the pasta back in. All right, and now for the pasta. No, of course, it's not going to go in smooth. I need 2 hands. I decided not to add fresh spinach. I'm adding in frozen spinach. It's chopped up nice and fine and will work great in a recipe like this. Let's get it buried so that it starts to thaw, heat up, merge in with this. I am then going to put this in a casserole dish, and I am going to top it with some cheese. Yeah, we'll talk about that after. Okay, so this is all stirred in. I added a tomato. I had remnants of a tomato that was starting to go soft, and so I diced it up. This is a perfect way to use that up. I'm going to top this with some cheese. And then I have some crackers that the handsome one doesn't like at all. I like them, they're okay, but I like other crackers way better. And I'm going to crush them up. Crack those crackers. I'm going to crush them up and top the casserole with that. We're going to pop it in the oven. I did add about a half a cup of water just into... Okay, I added an additional half a cup of water in the sauce. You saw that was nice and thick and creamy. I added about another half a cup of water just into this casserole dish because I don't want this to bake dry. I decided at the last minute to add a little bit of bacon bits on top as well. Let's get this in the oven. I turned it down to 300 because this is already cooked. I'm just heating everything through, melting the cheese. This looks great. Looks like it turned out great. Now the proof is let's taste test. Let's get these hot dogs used up. Hot dogs for lunch. Not only did I open or use up that pack of markdown Larson's, the 50 plus 25% off one, we opened another pack that we had in there. Maple Leaf, cooked some of those up, and there'll just be some cooked wieners. Like, obviously we're not eating this many for lunch, but sometimes you want a little snack, and a wiener just fits the ticket. And wiener tax was paid to the dogs. They had cut that piece before it went in here. Ketchup, mustard, and relish on mine. The handsome one's getting his ready right now. He's having cheese whiz, relish, and mustard. This is an old piece of plastic that the handsome one got out of the shed for me. I am going to cut this into strips, and we are going to repurpose this and use this for our seed snails this year. This will be our first time making seedlings or growing seedlings as seed snails. I had the handsome one bring in some soil for me so that it could thaw in preparation of starting our seedlings. We had this bag of Grampy's soil. It's about a half a bag left over from last year. And at the end of the season, let me turn this around here. Let me turn around. That's easier. At the end of the season last year in the fall, I totally scored getting this vegetable and herb soil mix for under $1 a bag. And so I just bought everything that they had left and brought it home. Actually, I saved the videos of those and I'm going to insert it now. I'm at Superstore, and 94 cents for this vegetable and herb soil mix, which is actually a mix that we buy. We like this. We like this mix. So I'm going to pick these bags up and we're going to store them for next year. These look pretty nice. I'm actually very, very, very excited about this. What I'm planning to start the seedlings for are my onions. So I've never grown onions from seed before, only from onion sets. It is my understanding that they need to be started very early, so I'm starting them now. And peppers, definitely I'm starting them. I just always wish there was more growing season in our peppers because they always start to do so well, and next thing it's frost. So we're starting those as well. I'm going to do green peppers, jalapenos, chili peppers, and then we seed saved some mini jalapenos for quite a few years. And these are all open, they're heirloom and open pollination seeds. Leftover pesto parmesan chicken for supper tonight. We're just reheating it in the microwave. Mine's done. The handsome one's is in there now. I know I didn't ID these as items that I want to use up in my grocery haul video, but these were previously frozen. They're not frozen now. I'm squeezing that as hard as I can. They are extremely hard. I'm wondering if they can be repurposed into something. I wonder if heating them would make them softer or what I could do with these. I hate just to get rid of them because they're hard as a rock. I mean, you know, I always look forward every day to potentially breaking a tooth. Just kidding. I'm going to heat one now and see if they soften. It's fractionally softer. So I ate a bite out of it before I decided to put some cream cheese on it. Let's try. 1 second. Okay. Reheating them does make them better. I'd like to eat these up. That was really yummy. This looks like a little bit of a mess, but I heated up some of those croissants. I've got some of the salami stick cut. That's a dilled carrot. Out of the dilled carrot, that was the only one left in the jar. I pulled out the garlic clove, so that's there. Some of these little cocktail olives, which I've discovered that I don't really like them and I won't buy them again. They have the pits in them. And then this is just some cream cheese. And then over the cream cheese, I scooped a couple spoonfuls of homemade red pepper jelly, and I'll use that as a spread on the croissants. Yeah. We are having a big storm here in Nova Scotia. The handsome one is running a couple errands before the storm hits, and we decided that we were going to use this old gift certificate to get some takeout, just to have a fun thing, because we figure we're probably going to be storm stayed at the house for a couple days. So this was a total bust. The restaurant is closed for renovations until May. So, change of plans. We've got a couple things thawing in the sink. We are going to be having breakfast for supper. This is pure craziness. Red alert. Sizzling nicely. The handsome one diced these potatoes up. We had them soaking in water. Now we're frying them for hash. He's going to do the eggs over here, and the bacon's in the oven. He likes his bacon in the oven like this. The handsome one made this delicious breakfast for supper. We've got ham, we've got bacon, we've got homemade home fries, hash browns, fried eggs, and of course the toast, and it is the sourdough bread that the neighbor gave to us. Yum, yum. It's still snowing, it's still very windy, but you can see that's my tracks. The steps are totally drifted in. This is the road. So you see these footprints here. That's about 6 feet tall. Ooh, and another one down there I see. All right, this is take 2 with the new Intsant Pot that I got for Christmas. First time use was not that successful. This is a roast that we are clearing out of the freezer. We currently have no internet because there was a big storm here yesterday, knocked out the internet around 8:45 last night for everybody on our road. And it's my understanding several people on like the road that our road is off of. Anyways, we can't do any checking, so this is kind of from memory. We are going to use a half a cup of liquid, and we're going to put this on for 10 minutes cook time. All right, the roast is in, half a cup of water. We are going to set this, and last time we did a quick release. We're not doing that this time. We don't know what we're doing. We did cook this for 12 minutes. We thought it was instant releasing, but it's still counting. We don't know what's happening. And of course we have no internet, so we can't Google anything, and the manual is not worth anything really. I think this looks pretty good. The handsome one's gonna cut it up. This is the drippings that came out of the Intsant Pot, and I'm just gonna use it to make a little bit of gravy. I decided to make some of this stuffing mix to go with it. This is going to be it's going to be roast beef dinner. We've got everything on the plate. I left a little hole in the middle. And over here, that's where our stuffing is going to go. And someone gave himself beets and cranberry sauce. And I am going to have cranberry sauce after I get my stuffing on. And this smells and looks fantastic. I'm excited. Maybe this wasn't an Instant Pot fail. Maybe this one was an Instant Pot success. The handsome one went to town and saw that the store that he was at, which was Walmart, had this silk vanilla lavender creamer. It's a limited edition. He knew that I haven't had any creamer since last week. I've just been using milk. And he brought this home for a treat for me. It's very exciting. You know, sometimes you have treats that are outside of your regular grocery budget. I figured I should probably take a video. I've already got it in there. I've already frothed it. Let's get some coffee in. It's going to be so good. Yummy. It's going to be a magical unicorn kind of day. I just know it. I had a plan when I bought the broccoli. The broccoli was on sale for $3. It was a really nice sized, it was 2 stalks like this together. I'm just using one. But I planned, because I'm trying to use up these old Epicure meal solutions that I have. And broccoli cheddar soup sounds just like it would be delicious this week. I'm going to make this, and I'm going to get 2 days out of the meal. 2 lunches. 2 days of lunches. I'm slightly altering the ingredients. It calls for 2 cups of milk. I'm using 1.5 cups of milk, and I'll use more water. Called for 1.5 cups of water. I'm adding 2 cups. But in addition to that, I'm also going to add another 1/2 cup of water to 3/4, maybe even a full cup. This is a very... So this, mixed with the water and the milk, is what's giving this like the creamy consistency. And I have found that I'm able to stretch it and get more servings out of it by adding more water, and it hasn't impacted the taste. Yeah, I do things like that sometimes. I like to stretch things out. It calls for 2 cups of fresh broccoli. I will measure it out to see how much I actually have, but I'm using 1 stalk. No more, no less. I'm keeping the other stalk for something else. I'm dicing this up really, really small. I prefer much smaller pieces. Oh, this one's too big for me. Like, I'll cut that. But this is preference, your preference. When you're making something, make it to your own taste. If you like big chunks of broccoli, then go for that. I'm adding in the package, and we'll give this a whisk. Just like this. I did add in 1 additional cup of water. So far, this is 1 cup. Cup number 2. And of course, I use the stalk. So I'm going to cut the harder outside of this stalk down, but the inside is tender and really lovely. Don't waste it. If you have been, just moving forward, don't waste it. For me, I'm actually going to take those outside pieces and I'm going to dehydrate it and add it into my homemade bouillon. This is what I peeled off the stalk, just these little pieces, and I cut the bottom part off. And I have sliced the tender, and then I'm going to just dice it that way. See how much I would have been wasting? Let's get this right in here. Awesome. A little bit up from the other stalk that I cut. And we'll get this all stirred in, and then I'm going to turn this on. And it tells me that I am to bring it to a boil over medium-high heat, stirring constantly, lower and simmer 5 minutes. Okay, easy peasy. I cut these up small, they'll dehydrate faster, and I'll just grind them up once they're done and add it into the bouillon. You might not be able to tell, but it is already starting to thicken. And yes, I have to keep getting the broccoli out of my whisk. This is done cooking. Now I'm going to add the cheese. We'll stir that in, and this will soon be ready to serve. Broccoli cheddar soup. Looks delicious. We are having burgers tonight for supper, and if you'll notice, these are not the jalapeno burgers that burn our mouths off, so these ones are going to be very enjoyable. And we had planned on having them with Kraft pasta salad, but I didn't make it in enough time. The handsome one's already turned on the barbecue, so we just decided to have it with fries, and the fries out of this bag are already in the oven. These look good. They're going to be yum yum in my tum-tum. The handsome one said we're getting low on mustard. And yes, of course, I said we can add it to our grocery list. But then I said, wait a minute, what about this stuff? We have this old Hickory Farms Sweet Hot Prepared Mustard in the fridge. I'm going to use this. We might as well use this up. I often use like little jars and stuff like this when I'm making baking stuff. I think the last time I made beans, I used some of this in the beans instead of prepared mustard or regular mustard. It's a sad day. This is my pickle ketchup. Watch. Well, you have an idea there. No! Burgers. The handsome one has mustard, relish, pickles, and onions. I have ketchup, mustard, relish, pickles, and onions. Let's get them covered up. And I find interesting, these buns are not that soft. Fries and burgers. Broccoli soup for lunch again today. It was delicious yesterday. I'm looking forward to it. Yummy. The handsome one cooked faster than I got videos done. We're having sausages tonight. Barbecued sausages, and he made Kraft pasta salad. He wanted to put an egg in it. He likes an egg in it, and I said, please don't put an egg in it. I don't like it like that. It's like an alternative recipe on the back. And then he said, fine. And I said, well, no, just put an egg in half. Like, my half no egg, your half with egg. But he said, no, I'm not doing an egg. And then we are having some green beans with this, and I'm going to plate everything up. Sausages, green beans, and Kraft pasta salad. It was actually a beautiful evening for a barbecue. No wind. It's not cold. Well, I mean, it's about 3 degrees out, but compared to like -9 with a wind chill of, it wasn't cold. These sausages are from a club pack that I got at Costco sometime last fall, and I actually think this might be the last package of them. Looks great. Yum, yum, yum. The handsome one tells me they're Mexican flavored. So, curious to see what that's all about. And this is what they look like inside when I cut them open. Yummy. Looking forward to it. All right, let's start with the highlights. The nachos were so amazing. I'm looking forward to having nachos again. More nachos and more nachos. I also really liked the burgers, and I really liked the broccoli soup. I liked everything about the roast beef dinner except the roast beef. And I feel a little bit kind of, I don't know, I feel guilty for saying that because beef is really expensive. And I feel fortunate that I was able to get a great markdown at some point. And from the sticker on the bag, I don't remember. From the sticker on the bag, I know it was either Foodland or Sobeys, but I can't remember where I got it from. But once we cooked it, the cut of that meat was really very disappointing. It was filled with fat, and it was really, really gristly. Like, not gristly, chewy. And I don't know. It just wasn't that melt in your mouth kind of meal. Now the flavor was excellent. Whatever the seasoning that they had on it, that certainly speaks to my taste. I really liked that. Yeah. It was just in general, a really good week. And I still really don't know if that's an Instant Pot fail or if it is a terrible cut of beef fail, and maybe a little bit of both, because we still don't really know what the heck we're doing with the Instant Pot. Yeah, that Instant Pot is annoying. I shouldn't complain. I got a lovely Instapot for Christmas from the Handsome One. It's brand new, but the manual, it's doesn't tell you what to do. Like, it just says these are the buttons, but it doesn't really give you any instructions. And I keep hearing people talk about recipes. Um, like, I kind of got the Instapot because I thought that I was going to have instant meals, or that this was going to be cooking things much faster than what I was used to. But I feel like it takes, like, I should just put the stuff in a pan and put it in the oven. I don't think that it would take that much less. I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing things wrong. You guys, you need to tell me, what am I doing wrong? What should I expect? Because I don't really know what to expect. And there's lots of videos about Instant Pots on YouTube, but there's no videos with my model of Instant Pot. I also want to make yogurt with it, and it doesn't have a yogurt button. So help me out with that as well. Thanks, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I do hope you subscribe. It will help me. Like, shares, comments, they help me as well. I hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend.